What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 4. This is going to be the third and final game between Power Rangers and Fab 5. Don't really think anyone expected it to get to this stage, but Fab 5 managing to take Game 2 after a very, let's say, narrow game. Yeah, I don't really know. Power Rangers are going to be pretty salty about that one, I'm sure, but they have a chance of coming back and still keeping their hopes and dreams alive for Division 1 in jDL4. I'm Mike Loris, going to be joined by Blackadder, and man, this game is certainly going to be a lot different from the last ones.
Yeah, we're actually seeing team fight lockdown heroes, something that was severely lacking last time, and the Vengeful Spirit will change hands to Power Rangers. So maybe we'll see some good aggression out of that without, I'm going to call the shot here, Ivs feeding First Blood. Bets in chat, will Ivs feed First Blood?
I think we should wait until we see the Fab 5 lineup, see what hero Ivs is playing. Because he might get someone who just... No, okay, he's probably going to feed First Blood, let's be honest here. But anyway,
yeah.
Okay, so we got Doom first pick for the Power Rangers. Not something that we see all that often. You asked previously what patch is this. Does seem like an old patch that we're playing on, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Doom 100% in response to this Tidehunter. They don't want to deal with Ravage Power Rangers.
No, Ravage is going to be thoroughly unpleasant, and of course, Ravage plus Razor, it just gets worse, and Razor didn't get any nerfs in the patch, so he's still quite strong, much to my chagrin. Razor, I don't know about you, but I can find Razor a bit boring at times. I used to love the hero completely, but I suppose it's the way he's played.
Yeah, it's very similar to Viper. They have been very similar for a very long time. I like playing Viper a lot more than I like playing Razor. I just don't like Razor. But either way, it is a lot of AoE this time around for Fabulous 5, and not as focused into the Drow Ranger damage strategy. They'll have to pull something a little bit different out of the hat this time. But for Power Rangers, getting the Viper and the Doom and the Vengeful Spirit, last two games they were pretty much all in on the aggressive strategy. This time they have heroes that could play it a lot slower. They can play aggressively if they need to, if they find opportunities to, but actually getting kills is not going to be their #1 concern. It's just getting a couple more levels, waiting till Doom has, Blink Dagger or something like that, then trying to make stuff happen. But Fab 5, they're going to grab the Visage again.
This could be a signifier for the Drow as before. However, there's no Vengeful Spirit aura to, say, amplify the Drow's earlier potential, but I'm calling that as the Ivs hero right there. So, feeding First Blood, Schedule 1, on your Fab 5 bingo boards. But for the rest of it, for Power Rangers, I mean, they've got Viper, VS, Doom. I'm liking this draft from PR. They've got a lot of fight right now, and I would very, very much like to see an Earthshaker right about now as well. Or a Witch Doctor. Oh, this could be quite unpleasant. I'm actually feeling the Faceless Void, and it's not actually banned out here.
And I'm sure Fabulous 5 will have to consider banning that one out for their next usage of the ban. Earthshaker Witch Doctor, I think, in you saying you want an Earthshaker there, it's just saying you want CC from Power Rangers. Witch Doctor doesn't exactly provide Earthshaker amounts of crowd control, but he's okay right now. We'll have to worry about the familiars annoying him with his Death Ward and of course the Cask as well, but it's fine for Power Rangers because they have two heroes that actually do have stuns, and those are point-click stuns as well. But Fab 5, they're going to do what worked in the last game, Drow Ranger Visage, this time up against fewer heroes that are, fantastic against Drow Ranger. No Slark to deal with, no Darkseer to deal with, no Spirit Breaker to deal with. Of course, it's not too late to pick those up. Faceless Void looks like the best pick right now for Power Rangers, and the best ban out for Fab 5.
Yeah, the Faceless Void, if it doesn't get banned here, I'll be very surprised. But if they ban the Void, what does that leave them with options-wise? I'm expecting maybe Mid-Viper, Core Doom, an offlaner of some description. They're going to ban the Brood. Faceless Void can now be their offlaner of choice. Instead, we'll get the Axe. Oh, hello. We have cast some crackers with Axe lately. I seem to recall a game of 4 Anchors and Sea Captain playing Axe with Air Matuberman. I'm hoping we get something similar.
Man, Axe is a hero that's been seeing so much more play, and I love it so much. He's great versus Visage. You could just annihilate those familiars. It's a great matchup also versus the Tidehunter. There aren't many melee... I think that's actually the only melee versus melee matchup that Tidehunter, I would say, would lose most of the time, just because Axe is so much more explosive with his ability. He's so much tankier. He can just ignore the creep wave and just go straight for you, and he doesn't care. That Anchor Smash reduces the damage of himself. So Axe is a pick for Power Rangers. It's going to put them a little bit more back onto the aggressive sort of strategy. Blink Dagger Axe versus Visage Drow Ranger, that's initiation that Power Rangers really needed in the last game. Hard initiation, stuff that is very hard to deal with if you're Fab 5. Gotta blow a Ravage or lose your Drow Ranger.
Yeah, and now for the final pickup for the Drow, for the Fab 5, would to go with this Drow Visage kind of style. Mid-Razor, safe lane Drow, off lane Tide, Visage plus. I could really go for an Enigma right about now.
So, up against the Axe, you still think Enigma is what they want to go for? Or just for pushing purposes?
10 seconds remaining.
Partly for pushing, because it'll benefit from the aura, but partly for the black hole, since a jungler would mean they could then gain more farm out of their side of the map, but we'll instead see the Shadow Demon. Now this does work as well. Shadow Demon Visage, it's still a very powerful roaming combo. Not as potent in terms of nuking power, but much more in terms of control and assistance, considering amplification and disruption. It also does give you a defensive power to, let's say the Axe jumps your Drow. Disrupt the Drow. Problem solved.
Or you just disrupt the Axe, and depending on how many people are there, you still can't move. You still have to issue that attack command, so you're disabled, but you're not taking any damage, which is sometimes all you need if you're Fabulous 5. So they also have minor combinations, Shadow Demon with the Razor. If you somehow layer that correctly, it could obliterate people in lane, and also defensively versus Doom rather can be very relevant if it does come to it. So yeah, I think this is a pretty decent support pick for Fab 5. Not as explosive as far as damage output is concerned, but if you go all in on damage, you run into a same game as last time where it's definitely a lot more fragile than it needs to be. But that being said, we're in the third and final game, and Fab 5, they're running the Drow Ranger once again. It's Tib playing that hero again. Ivs is going to be on the Visage again. Smaya's on the Shadow Demon. Keck is going to be playing the Razor this time around, and Villic is going to be on the Tide.
And of course, on the flip side of that coin, for the Power Rangers, we've got Cheshire Cat on that Doom. You're going to be in the off-lane role, which I didn't expect. These lanes are quite different to what I expected. So, Cheshire in the off-lane. We're going to have in the mid lane Ditira. No surprises, he's either mid or carry. This case mid, considering he's the Viper. We've got on the Witch Doctor, Sonny. On the Vengeful Spirit, this time we've got J4. And on the Axe in the safe lane is Sashlo.
So, yeah, you wouldn't really expect an Axe to go into the safe lane, unless it's solo, and then you're running your offensive tri-lane, which is probably not the best. Doom offensive tri-lanes are actually pretty terrible. Shachlo is going up here expecting the Villic matchup, but this is kind of going to a point in the game where I really don't like. It's the reason why I don't like Doom, is because he is so restricted as far as what he can do in lane. Right now, Power Rangers would love to have a tri-lane down on the bottom lane, a really aggressive one. Replace Doom with literally anyone. Have Shachlo go toe-to-toe with the Tide up on top lane, which is another matchup that he'll be winning. Instead, they can't really do that because Cheshire Cat as Doom doesn't really function well in tri-lanes at all.
No, he doesn't, but if he can just soak experience, he's there for the Doom more than anything. He's just there to Doom the Tide, or in some cases, maybe Doom the Drow. But I don't know. This seems odd to me, these lanes. I mean, I don't know about you, but safe lane Doom for this game sounds better.
Yeah, put Doom up on the top lane. He won't have a good time versus Villic, so I guess that's like a trade-off that Power Rangers will have to think about making. Yeah, safe lane Doom, offensive tri-lane for the other heroes, just putting pressure on Tib, I feel like is just such an important thing that they have to do. And yeah, they're going to be shutting down the Tide Hunter, but Tide Hunter at level 6 gets turned on, and he could do pretty much the same thing as Tide Hunter at level 10. Tib, if you get him free farm, well, we saw what a little bit of extra gold could do for a Drow Ranger in the last game. I don't think Power Rangers will be able to apply the necessary amount of pressure in order to convincingly deal with the Drow Ranger. And if that's the case, then they have to demolish their other lanes. And well, top lane's doing pretty well, but the odds of Ditira destroying Keck in lane, Viper versus Razor, is very small. They're most likely going to be even.
Yeah, and I'm looking around this map and I'm seeing some odd little caveats from the Power Rangers lineup. I mean, sure, we mentioned the Cheshire Cat offlane Doom. That's not really going to do much, especially with zero armor. But take a look at the Axe of Sashlo. What's his first skill? He took the Battle Hunger as his level 1 skill. That really surprised me. I mean, I've seen so many pros build the Axe differently to that. I've seen them ignore Battle Hunger up until level 10, mainly Matuberman. But he plays like, uber aggressive, I am the ganker, and everything dies just because he runs into lane and calls. I suppose this is a different style of Axe from Sashlo? This should be quite the interesting one.
Every single time I've seen an Axe in the past couple of times, he's just been going for a 404 build, or with Culling Blade whenever he can. They've been ignoring Battle Hunger, as you said, so Battle Hunger is a useful skill. Maybe they're just going to rely on the lockdown of the teammates so that you don't exactly need that much call if you're going to be doing a lot of damage, but I don't really know about this one either. It does lend itself to a certain playstyle, and certain playstyle, it's going to happen over towards mid. That's the perfect Shadow Demon setup onto Ditchy Grave Chill is there as well, and Ditchy might be the first blood, so you're wrong. It's not going to be Ibs, it's going to be him drawing first blood, just to make you extra wrong.
My flame was wrong. I'm pretty salty right now. I'll have a word with Ibs later.
I mean, it's a kill for Fab 5. It's a nice start for sure for their mid lane. Razor going to collect huge off of that one, even though he didn't get the kill. He's going to be doing just fine versus Ditchy, and especially with Drow Ranger getting now a 1 versus 0 lane. This is potentially really bad, although Keck taking a lot of damage over towards mid. Ditchy diving pretty deep for this kill. Will avoid the disruption for now, though taking a couple tower shots, never the best. This is pretty much a trade for Power Rangers, saying, okay, you can have the Drow Ranger farm, we're going to get Shochlo farm. And if Shochlo was a Morphling or something like that, then or a Medusa, then I would say, okay, you could try to do that and take it late, and you could probably come out ahead, or at least you won't be terribly smashed. But this Axe, maybe he gets a fast Blink Dagger, he's going to have to make so much use of it.
Yeah, I mean, a fast blink, he is going to have to play uber aggressive. He's already got 1,100 gold, so could certainly be the order of business here. And if we see that fast blink, bad things are going to happen to Fab 5. I mean, they really don't have an answer for an Axe with a blink very early in this game. And Villic doesn't really have an answer either. He's level 1 still at 4 minutes. That's not where you want your Tide Hunter to be.
And he is not stacking up the Ancients or anything like that. In fact, he is taking Kraken Shell level 1, so he doesn't even have any way of clearing off jungle creeps. He'll get level 2 soon enough, and then he'll be able to maybe go into the jungle and get something done, but Tide Hunter getting absolutely nothing. I suppose Doom is getting a lot more just because Doom can jungle as a backup alternative. But actually, no, Villic is now in a little bit of pressure. Shocho actually guesses wrong, so he'll be just fine, Villic. Unless, no, there's a magic missile here, and there's a cask. They'll layer it perfectly, or unperfectly, however we want to say it. Villic, either way, is going to get called to call, and he will be beaten down. That's going to be a kill for Power Rangers up on the top lane, and they'll be able to cut the creep wave very easily with the axe, as you normally are able to do. So maybe they're going to take this tower very early, putting Shocho a little bit closer, perhaps, to a Blink Dagger. Also, they get a canceled TP from the Tide Hunter, so that's even more gold out of the Tide's pockets.
Yeah, this is absolutely perfect for Power Rangers. I'm liking this early play from them. Maybe they can take game number 3 after the epic levels of throwing in game number 2. But first tower of the game will go down at 5 minutes and 10, so good early start. Looking for that dagger, only 100 gold away for Zashlo, and then all of the fun and games begin.
Alright, so we're going to need a lot of fun and a lot of games for Shochlo if they actually want to redeem this. Drow Ranger, she'd be getting a lot of farm in the bottom lane, but she needs a lot more time if she wants to have as much of an impact as this Axe will have. So they got the Blink Dagger on Axe. Doom status is level 5, so he's very close to his ultimate. Once the Blink Dagger comes up on the Axe, which is, it's right there, so that's up. Once the Doom comes up as well, then Power Rangers are almost completely on. They don't have to wait for much of anything else. As far as items are concerned, there's not going to be any huge leaps of power except for a Blink Dagger on Doom, or maybe Boots first on Doom. That's a better way to start. No, he does have Boots. Triangles, okay. So he has Boots. He's probably going to go for a Blink Dagger of his own. That's another small jump of power for Power Rangers, but right now, they should be going full steam ahead.
Yeah, I think they will be. And I like what the Doom was doing there, dropping his Tranquils. There's no Invis hero really that's going to come in and destroy them, so that's going to help him out in terms of his jungling power, so his regen won't ever get disabled. But more importantly, that was a 5 minutes 45 second Blink Dagger. I don't think I have ever seen a blink that quick on an Axe.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I've never seen a Blink Dagger that fast on anyone, like, ever. Maybe a Bat Rider that came close at one point, but unless you're getting literally fed kill after kill after kill, you're probably going to have, a 9-minute Blink Dagger is pretty good most of the time, but 5 minutes is insane if you actually have a chance to use it. Right now he's just farming, got to fill up the tank first of all, but it's over towards the mid where Ditchy going to get set up once again. This time he's going to try to TP out of this. It's going to be close, but he will not make it. Shadow Demon is going to claim that kill. Very easy setup with the Invis Shadow Demon. And Power Rangers, that's pretty much not the start they wanted with such a farmed axe. You got to make sure that everyone on your team at the very least doesn't die. But they're going to smoke up, and now they have their eyes set on bottom, it seems. Ivs is there. Drow Ranger, unfortunately, for Power Rangers, is in the jungle right now.
Yeah, I mean, if they had the Drow there, they could certainly start to force towers. Now they've got the Familiars online, but right now I'm looking at the axe. Where is the fight going to be? He's coming with that smoke down towards the bottom lane. This could be a kill on the Visage. Ivs is quite possibly in a lot of trouble. There's the call. One more spin could be enough. Does he get the cull? He doesn't get the cull. He doesn't get it in range. Now comes the potential for a turnaround. Amplification is there with the disruption. Can they kill this axe? They need something. They really do. One stun comes through, two stuns come in from the Visage Birds, and they just can't kill him. He's just going to leave. No, he cancels his TP. Maybe thinking twice.
Well, it's not the initiation that I really expected. He could have called the Visage. I think he was able to do so, but he was just like not sure about the health status. That's what happens when you don't get 2 points Berserker's Call. You get 1 point Battle Hunger. It doesn't exactly work out for you, but they could have killed the Drow Ranger instead. So I guess, you know, at the end of the day, you get a kill on the target that you really wanted to kill, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I suppose it's not too bad, but 2 for 2 now, 8 minutes after coming in the game that had over 100 kills. It seems like a stark difference. The Death Ward, a bit wasted by Sonico. That's an interesting one right there. I mean, what did he really expect to catch off that without a Maledict? I mean, you can't really kill a Tide that easily.
Well, either way, he does have his level 6, so Power Rangers shuffling around their top lane. Shocho able to roam around because he has the only item he needs. That means the supports can benefit a little bit more until this happens. So Nico going to get cut off by these birds, and I don't really think he has much of a chance to survive if he gets stunned. Yes, there's one stun, there's a second. Disruption is there, available if needed. He is going to try to TP out, and no, Disruption misses! Okay! So if you mess up like that, then you can't get the kill.
Oh god, I suppose they had a throw given to them. They have to return the favor with at least one kill. I mean, that was pretty bad. I mean, Smai not going to live that one down for a while, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's a Witch Doctor getting away. It could have been worse. It could have been like, you know, a Spectre getting away. Then you just feel terrible about it, but it's a kill that you're not going to have. It's a kill that was pretty much guaranteed, and unfortunately for Fab 5, not going to be the case. And, well, the Witch Doctor going to live to fight another day, but he's not really going to benefit hugely off of that. Who is going to benefit off of all that space that was created is Cheshire Cat. He now has his Midas up. Pretty standard Doom stuff there. Shocho, though, he's now at 10 minutes. Hasn't really done anything with this Blink Dagger. I don't know if that's because he just hasn't found the opportunity or Fab 5 are playing so well around him. Either way, Shocho, I mean, you could have a 0-minute Blink Dagger. If you don't use it, it's pointless. Nico up on top lane, taking a lot of damage. Once again, will barely survive. And he will be able to heal out of that. But Axe right now is not being Axe. This is a dead hero.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point playing an Axe if you're not going to play balls to the wall aggressive. I mean, having the dagger at 5 minutes is gold. It's pure gold, but we've not seen a single kill with it. We've seen an attempted kill, but just no kills. And now the Blink Dagger is known to Fab 5. As you quite rightfully said, they are playing so well around that dagger.
Well, until Mai gets run into an axe, and he's going to get his head chopped off. So, you know, 1 kill for 10 minutes. Let's say this was a 5-minute Blink Dagger. For all intents and purposes, this was now a 10-minute Blink Dagger, and that's a little bit more par for the course. And Shocho might even be in a little bit of trouble here. No, he's going to straight TP out. He will be just fine. So he's going to live, gets a kill on a support, but that should have happened pretty much as soon as he got his Blink Dagger. At least he should have been looking for that. He should have been looking for kills pretty much as soon as he got his Blink Dagger. It took him a hell of a long time, at least get something, but he just has to make sure to get a little bit more, because this is not a hero that you want to just sit back with. If you're sitting back as an Axe, you're losing the game.
Yeah, it is one of those heroes that just needs to keep committing to fights, but we do see components for an Aghanim Scepter already starting to come online for Sashlo. He has himself that point booster, but it's not going to be in time, or is it? Can he kill Zmai after that kill onto the VS? Counter kill would be nice, but oh, of course, Purge doesn't disable the Blink Dagger, and he's just going to have to use it to retreat. I don't know. I don't feel like this axe has paid off for Sashlo, even if he is getting components for an Aghanims.
can't help the mid lane just yet. He's going to grab a bounty rune. Definitely not the rune he really wanted. Towards top, Cheshire Cat's going to find Ivs and drop the Doom on him, but Doom is not actually that useful right here. Ravage is going to be committed. Cheshire Cat going up the high ground. Now is being zapped down by Keck. Wave going to fly. That won't do anything either. Doom is going to do absolutely freaking nothing. Shoch, though, is going to be doing nothing. Power Rangers, I don't know. They just have a draft, and it's supposed to function in a very specific way of we're going to get kills and short bursts with the Doom, and we're going to start team fights with the Axe, and none of that has been happening. Fab 5 have been getting pretty much a completely free time. Maybe they get jumped right now by Shoch, though. Tibbs going to throw the Gust, and once again, it's Axe to be forced away with the Blink Dagger. This is going perfectly for Fab 5, even though that was a Ravage committed. I mean, that's a steep investment, but Villic is almost at his Blink Dagger right now, and once he has that, I mean, I could almost promise you he'll have a larger impact than the Axe just because Axe hasn't been doing anything.
Yeah, and now you've got Ivs picking up a kill on the Witch Doctor, which is just perfect. Ivs survives with hardly any health, sure. And he's going for this odd build again of max Grave Chill, 1 Soul Assumption. He's probably going to max Gravekeepers now. I suppose if he doesn't really need all of that burst damage, it does give him a huge amount of survivability. But now in comes that jump onto Tib, Cull, dead. That's how you deal with the Drow.
Not so fast.
That's how you're supposed to deal with the Drow if you do that continuously, and well, that's the first time they've actually made any sort of attempt, or I guess second time, they made any sort of serious attempt at Drow's life. So it's a nice start for Power Rangers. Let's see if they could ride that kill into one more kill. Doom status up in 10 seconds. So they will be able to lock down and prevent Fab 5 from, I don't know, disrupting someone if they want to Doom the Shadow Demon, whatever the case may be. Power Rangers, they unfortunately don't have enough heroes right now. Their entire draft is based around killing off heroes, so killing off towers is going to be hard without taking a decisive fight. They can't go for this bottom lane convincingly, at least Fab 5. They can defend it if they really want to. And Fab 5, they're just farming away in the background. Power Rangers, they have to step things up in a big way.
If Fab 5 get the farm, I say very bad things are going to happen to PR. And that is backed up from what we saw in the second game even. Fab 5 got time to farm and they came back pretty damn hard. And I have to say, the gusts that we've seen so far out of Tib in Game 2 and in this game, just gusting away that Axe, is very akin to just gusting away the Spirit Breaker in the second game. And if Tib can just have that kind of presence again, I think there's a good chance Fab 5 might take this.
Yeah, I think Fab 5 are definitely favored right now. I mean, look at the net worth, and with the tower destroyed for Power Rangers, they're just farming slightly better. They have the Hand of Midas and Devour on Doom. They're getting quite a bit of gold. So Power Rangers, they are numerically still, even if not ahead in this game, and they are actually ahead by quite a large margin, 4K, 5K-ish for both gold and experience. But it just seems like they're not using it for anything. They're going to try to jump Keck. That's a very difficult kill to take. The Viper Strike, they're going to actually not get it because he has a haste rune. He's in fact going to turn around and start draining out Shoch's damage. I don't think Keck really wants to be doing this, though. He's going to get swapped back, and damage not quite going to be enough. 50 HP, he will survive. Shoch is going to charge forward, looking for Ivs. Going to land a one-man call. Maybe they'll get the kill on the Visage, but Gravekeeper's Cloak plus point booster. He's taking a lot of damage. Here comes Villic. Has no mana for a Ravage, actually. Will get doomed. So I guess that is actually a bluff that was successful for Fab 5. No one dies, and that is going to benefit Fab 5.
Yeah, I suppose that was a bit of a misplay coming out of Villic on that tide, because he had enough mana for the Ravage if he didn't Anchor Smash. I have a feeling he may have fat-fingered a key there, because if that Ravage went off, that could have been 2, if not 3, easy kills for Fab 5.
Yeah, if Ravage was used there, easy kills, and Power Rangers wouldn't have had anything to do. I guess the Tidelander does draw a Doom, so next time he has, next time within a minute, he will have a free Ravage. Nothing really can interrupt him there, so it's still Ravage as an asset, and sometimes the threat of Ravage is a lot more dangerous than the Ravage itself, and well, just knowing, Power Rangers knowing that the Ravage is on board, they might not want to, say, defend this mid lane. So Fab 5, they're going to try to go for it. Damage output from them, plus 45. Drow Ranger had this much damage output, or this much aura damage output, near the end of the last game, or closer to the end of the last game, but this game is just stark difference. She has a Yasha. She's going to go for a little bit of lifesteal. She's going to bulldoze down the first tier 1 tower for Fab 5. Botch, though, or Dichira, rather. Thinking about jumping in, but Power Rangers, they have to get like a 3-4 man call if they want to take this one through Ravage.
Yeah, they certainly need to. Otherwise, it's just going to be all too painful for Power Rangers to fight into, especially with no Doom and that Ravage ready to go. If that Ravage flies, it is going to be the linchpin of a team fight.
And after taking one tower, Fab 5, they are not done yet. They still have that plus damage, and they're going to actually run into Shotcha, who's going to try to go for some familiars, but ends up getting them resummoned on him. He's not taking too much damage from this Visage, but he's getting way in over his head. Now demonically purged. Now he's dropped. That is not what you're supposed to do as Axe. I guess space created for the rest of the team to kill off Roshan, but by the time Roshan is dead, this tier 1 tower will be dead. And I'm pretty sure Fab 5 will feel more than comfortable to try to go for a little bit more. In fact, they don't even fortify their top lane. That was a free fortification that they didn't take. The Tidehunter still has Ravage. They're not going to stop.
No, they're not. They have the ability to fight, sure. They've got the Aegis, but what does the Aegis really do? Nothing at this point. The Axe is still dying. He's not had any impact with that ridiculously early blink, and, well, they're fighting into Ravage now. Unless they catch the perfect Doom on Villic, this is going to be a tier 2 as well. The rotation is coming up, smoked in by Cheshire Cat leading the charge. They could look to fight this one, and if they do, it's all going to come down to Villic. Villic will either get doomed, or this will go perfectly. He tries to doom him, but not before the Ravage flies. Cheshire Cat will fall immediately. Shashlo could be the next target, but now they're going to turn around. They're going to go on to Ditra. Anchor Smash catches on 2 as well. He has no damage. He has no survivability. He will fall once. Aegis is going to bring him back up. Buyback as well by Doom. Call on 3 by Sashlo. That's going to do some work. In comes the Magic Missile. Do we have a Death Ward? No, we don't. But there'll be a cull onto that Razor before the Axe falls once more. But now in comes Cheshire Cat. That Doom's going to fly. It goes on Ivs. There's no way Ivs can stop that, but it shouldn't matter. Ivs might even survive this Doom. In fact, will he? No, he's not going to survive the Doom, but he will be denied up by Zmai. So pretty good all-around trade there for Fab 5. They get 4 kills with 2 buybacks, I want to say. I can double-check this.
It was Doom buying
4
back,
kills,
they
2 buybacks.
take out the Aegis. And, yeah, so it was 4 kills if you count the Aegis for 2 kills. Fab 5, so many things went fantastically for them. First of all, the Ravage right before the Doom was casted. Villic got that one off, and he hit 4 people with it. Also ended up canceling the Witch Doctor's Death Ward channel, which was just started after they thought they got the Doom. So they land a Ravage to disrupt both the Doom and the Witch Doctor, get the kill on the Doom immediately. Following that, they have a 3-man Anchor Smash from the Tidehunter with a 3-man Gust on Tib. And by the way, Tib was taking like absolutely no damage. Power Rangers were 100% ignoring the Drow Ranger that entire time, which is not exactly what you want to be doing. Power Rangers, even with the Aegis, they get absolutely destroyed because of that Ravage. That was pretty much the best chance at them shutting down the Ravage. Just they kind of had an idea where the Tidehunter was, but even with that idea, it just didn't come out fast enough. And Power Rangers, they fall short once again. Aghanim Scepters on both the Witch Doctor and Axe might help out a little bit down the line, but man, if these Ravages are going to land and if they're always on that many heroes, then, well, it's not going to do jack. So Witch Doctor Aghanims probably a lot more impactful than the Axe Aghanims.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. The Witch Doctor Aghanims can do a lot of work in these fights, but without a BKB, I really don't feel very comfortable with Sonico's positioning so far. I mean, one Ravage is all it takes to completely wipe out the enemy lineup. I mean, we say it was a 4-for-2 fight. That's before we count the tower. That tower going down, the tier 2, is pretty damn huge as well.
And Fab 5, once they have the Ravage up, and look at that, it's only 5 seconds until that is up, I'm sure they're going to set their sights on the bottom lane. In fact, someone is going to ping that one out immediately. Power Rangers this time, they're going to try to make a trade over towards mid, or at least try to force someone back by pushing up top and mid at the same time, but bottom lane push, the threat of Ravage, and Power Rangers have a chance at disrupting the Ravage with the Doom, and that's really why they picked the Doom. If they don't have that happen, then things are going to fall apart for them, because after the Doom is used, Doom is actually just like a terrible hero, so they're going to smoke up on the bottom lane, maybe get the jump on Razor. Although Razor is decently well hidden, Keck not completely hidden. Oh, he is hidden enough. That is a free TP because the call, or the Axe position misses going too much to the right. The Vengeful Spirit wave misses going too much to the left, and on average they get him, but that's just one of those times that they don't. Cheshire Cat in the meantime is going to get picked off in the mid lane. A nice clean victory for Fab 5.
Yeah, this is going to be a tier 2 push in the mid lane. We need some TP defenses now unless they really want to trade, and they can't afford to try to trade this. In comes the mass TPs by Power Rangers. They want to fight, but can they? I don't feel very comfortable here. They're going to put in. They kill all 3 familiars, which is one nice thing for Sashlo, but if Sashlo falls, it's all for now. 300 gold going his way, but now in comes the Aghanim Scepter Death Ward. Oh, that does a lot of damage, but the disruption is going to protect Keck for that last bit of his health. And the Viper cannot finish it off either. So from where we sit, pretty comfortable here for Fab 5. They're making the enemies waste their ultimates, which is a pretty damn huge thing. Death Ward's going to be offline for a good minute, but they're going to catch one more call. Sashlo Going to like to bring down the Shadow Demon. One more dunk, and that would be that. But Villic, can he finish off Sashlo? I don't think he can. He doesn't have enough man. No, he doesn't have the cooldown for the gush, and he doesn't have the levels in it either.
Radiant's bottom tower
Fab 5, they
is under
only
attack.
end up losing their Shadow Demon. That was not a fight that they really wanted to take to start things off anyway, because the Tidehunter apparently used the Ravage to kill off the Doom to start things off, so they didn't have that tool available, and Power Rangers, I'm sure, knew about that. So Fab 5, it was mostly a bluff, and actually Doom to come out from the side. Tib is doomed, and he will die. Shotcho also going to catch Villic in the call. He's not getting any swaps. They're actually going to swap Shotcho back just to get stunned on Villic, and that will be a kill. And Jar Ranger will also die to the Doom. Heck falling short on his deny there. Power Rangers, they're putting in some serious work. After the Ravage is down, they're feeling so much more comfortable to just do whatever they want. It's going to certainly be useful for them to get these towers, because we've been talking about so much. They haven't really been doing anything with their gold. Now it's starting to kick in. It's a lot later than we really thought, but hey, it's better late than never.
Yeah, and I suppose I'm going to have to be the guy that fires the shots tonight. Finally, Twitch chat, we see an effective Doom.
Yeah, it got a kill. So, I mean, it's still not going to be doing the Tidehunter. That was the reason why they first picked it. But that's sometimes just really hard. He has a Blink Dagger now, so maybe it's going to work out next time for Cheshire Cat in order to actually win a team fight through the Ravage. Because if you're, taking these fights when Ravage is down, it's all well and good and everything, but if you're 100% scared of Ravage, you're not going to be winning the game. You're just not going to be losing the game.
Yeah, and right now we've got another Ravage available in 10 seconds, so I'm looking for a convincing fight in the mid lane of some description. One where they don't get forced into one of these scenarios with the Death Ward and the Axe looking to finish off everything. The main thing that made that fight so good at PR's Tier 2 was the fact that the Axe killed all 3 Visage Familiars in half a second.
And that's something that the Axe can do. Those Familiars are affected by Call, they are affected by the spins as well, so you really can't do anything except for resummon, and you don't really want to just resummon like that. Resummons are very valuable. The cooldown is huge, so if Axe is able to shut those Familiars down, then, I mean, the Jar Ranger, therefore, is going to be doing a lot less damage with her aura, fewer units to benefit from that, and that's going to help you just get that little bit of push of power if you're Power Rangers, and if you're going to be winning that fight, that is what you need to do. Take out the Familiars and hope the Visage doesn't have a resummon, and, well, if Axe can somehow land it now onto 3, that'll be huge. It seems like Shotlo kind of knows where they are, but he's not going to randomly blink to the trees because that's just dumb. It's going to be a bottom lane push for Fab 5. They have the Ravage in tow once again. They have a full mana pool on the Tidehunter, so mana is not an issue. And with Jar Ranger's damage, they might be able to get it done, but Dichira has Aghanim Scepter very early on. In fact, so many Aghanim Scepters early on in this game. It's hard to push up into a Viper Strike.
4 Aghanim Scepters I see so far. There's a lot of really good Aghanim's heroes in this game. I mean, Razor, really good Aghanim's hero. One of my favorites in this game is the Shadow Demon, because it gives him 3 charges of Purge. And if you've ever seen it in a pub game or in a pro game, if you drop 3 Purges on one target, they have a likelihood to explode.
Unfortunately, he's too poor. I would love to see that, man. It's a brutal item, and it's maybe not as, clearly explosive as Witch Doctor, which you can instantly win you a team fight, but man, it could get you some really clean ganks if you're the Shadow Demon. I don't know if that's going to be his build this game, just because it's a Shadow Demon, so I'm going to hold out for it, though. I'm hoping for it, and well, actually, they're going to maybe run into Dichira. He has a TP scroll, but it's also a Viper, so he's going to be more than happy to stand and fight versus Villic. Here comes Cheshire Cat coming in, but he can't get the Doom off. Ravage comes out first. Now there's no point in dooming Villic anymore. He's going to doom an illusion. No, Cheshire Cat, why? Oh my god, Tibbs, though, still getting locked down with the Death Ward. He's going to get annihilated, decapitated, in fact, and they're going to also get another decapitation onto the Shadow Demon. Maybe making it there onto Villic. No, Villic will just die the good old-fashioned way. Disastrous Doom, even with Ravage. Power Rangers come out on top. The power of Death Ward is apparent.
I'm not even going to touch that one. I don't even need to fire a shot.
It was clear to everyone. Yeah, it goes without saying.
Yeah, the Death Ward in that fight, though, was huge, and Sashlo just dropping those dunks. Left, right, and center, I say every now and then, but wow, that was some very powerful aggression coming out of Sashlo, and this is something I wanted to see at 5 minutes and 45 seconds when he had the bloody dagger.
Radiant structures are fortified.
If he was actually doing that from the point where he picked up his Blink Dagger, this game would be so different. Instead of 12-12, it would be something, more along the lines of 18-6 for Power Rangers. either way, the Viper is definitely not the target that Fab5 want to go for pretty much ever. Killing him off is going to take a huge amount of effort, and the Drow Ranger is really the one who has to be doing the heavy lifting. She has Manta Style, which is really nice, but the Mask is a dead item as far as killing off the Viper is concerned, and the Talisman Evasion is also a dead item, so Drow Ranger taking a pretty utility survivability focused route with her items is hurting the Fab5 side for now, and they crucially don't have Ravage for another minute. So Power Rangers, they don't have the best Roshing lineup, but they don't really have to worry about Ravage, so they're just going to go for it anyway. Also, the Witch Doctor, if he gets a Death Ward out in these close quarters, it's all over for Fab5.
Yeah, and that Death Ward is ready, but Roshan will go down. Aegis picked up by Ditira. Swap, however, goes on to Villic, who will immediately blink away. This could be oh so good. Do they have the Ravage? No, they don't, and they really need it. Just look how much damage this Death Ward is doing. Everyone just taking so much. Dunk 1, Dunk 2, looking for more. Zmai will be the next target. Does he get the dunk? Yes, he gets the dunk. Triple kill for Sashlo.
And Ivs is just farming up on the top lane. That was a very, very nice start to the Death Ward. Of course, everyone from Fab5 disengaged off of the Death Ward. So Nico, you want to be putting your Death Ward in a position like that, where you're on the low ground, putting on the high ground, let it shoot down, rain hell onto everyone. He got a lot of damage off with that Death Ward before Axe just came in and cleared off everyone else. So Fab5 take a 4v5 fight, and with just numbers alone, you would expect them to lose it. But Power Rangers, they don't even get like really fantastic initiation off either. They get the swap back on the Tidehunter, ended up just being Vengeful Spirit essentially blinking into the enemy team and dying. Yet even with that, their power of AoE, their team fight, so massive. And it just demolished Fab5. Next time though, there will be a Ravage up on Tidehunter, so it won't be as cut and dry for Power Rangers. But, I mean, if they keep on getting fights like that, then they will be able to just steamroll their way forward, Power Rangers, assuming their ultimates are up. But their ultimates have a lot more uptime than Fab5's.
This is sort of the game of ultimates, by the way. There are now 6 Aghanim Scepters present on the board. This is getting nigh and ridiculous, and the Aghanims on the Doom is probably the most important one of them. I mean, I believe the Aghanim's Doom disables all those passives that are quite nasty, especially the Kraken Shell and things, but most importantly, it'll make it so that it will stay as long as he's within the range of the Doom. That pretty much wins these fights, since the Doom is race car right now. He is fast across the map, and we're looking for another one. Doom onto Ivs. He's not going to escape this one, really. In fact, he's just going to stand and take the death, but Cheshire Cat will die first, so that's going to put experience and gold the way of Ivs, and Ivs will get denied here by Zmai. Oh no, he won't. No, that was a miss attack, but 1 for 1 with the experience favoring Fab5 right now, and hell, this could be a 2 for 1. Sashlo going to take a good amount of damage. Pings go out, warning them, careful, there's going to be reinforcements coming up through that side jungle bit, but this is still quite the effective fight now for Fab5 with no Doom on the board if they can kill Sashlo. But that's a big if, especially considering you've got J4 ready to swap. But now in comes the Ravage. That's going to be a big hit on 2. If they can finish off Sashlo, that's huge. They need to kill Sashlo though. He'll go down to the Tidehunter's Anchor Smash, and they get to that Vengeful Spirit as well. They're trying to bring down Sunny. Do they have a stun? No, they don't. And he's just going to TP away to safety. But nonetheless, that's a 3 for 1 in favor of Fab5.
The positioning for Power Rangers probably can't get any worse for that. Like, they all got hit with the Ravage, yet they weren't in an angle that they could actually fight back. So Fab5 have a very clear win there. You never really want to be in this area when the mid-tier 2 tower is still up for the Radiant. So Power Rangers kind of digging their own grave for that one and get sufficiently punished. Ravage down for another 2 minutes, and they're going to capitalize off of that small win by taking down a tier 2 tower. Unfortunately for Fab5, that's about all that they can do off of this one, but still, if they're able to keep their distance versus this Axe, if they're able to use the Ravage or just the threat of Ravage to force Power Rangers' hand, then it should be easily done there. Also, Doom, I mean, he got a kill on the Visage, I guess, but trading your Doom for a Visage isn't really that great of a trade ever, as Ivs is actually getting quite a bit of farm, but even though he does have a lot of farm, you really need to reserve that Doom for more important targets. So Cheshire Cat, gotta respect the power of the Visage damage right now, and Drow Ranger, damage output up to 63. So if Power Rangers don't get like an Assault Cuirass or a Shiva's or one of those big aura armor items, then this Drow Ranger is going to tear them a new one. We've seen it what happens in last game. It is a lot of deeps.
Yeah, I mean, the Drow can become such a force if she can sit on the back lines, and Tib is already getting well on her way to that level of farm. I mean, Butterfly, next big item coming up, and he's only, what, 1,400 plus 900. he's not that far away. He's what, 2.2k away at max.
And if Power Rangers can't actually kill off the Drow Ranger and slow her down, even if they can, I mean, she's pretty much going to get that one. So Butterfly from Tib is going to be a huge item pickup just to make her do more damage and demand more focus from the Power Rangers. So now Power Rangers, they have to actually focus a little bit more on their crowd control on Tib. Maybe you even consider dooming the Drow Ranger. I think you would actually probably doom the Drow Ranger after the Tidehunter if you already used Ravage. So as far as that is concerned, doesn't really matter. But either way, Tib's going to be hitting like an absolute truck. And as far as Power Rangers are concerned, outside of their ultimates, they don't really have any huge AoE scaling. So if they botch their ultimates, if they get interrupted out of Death Ward channel through a Ravage or something like that, then Power Rangers are, you know, almost completely out of gas.
Yeah, if the Death Ward gets stopped, it hurts. If the Doom goes down, that hurts as well, just because if the Doom's up within range of the Doom target, well, that target's not getting undoomed. So that can keep a fight going in hope for PR, but I'm just waiting for the next engagement from Fab 5, really. Fab 5 have been playing incredibly well in this game, and sure, they were on the back foot in games 1 and 2, but in game 2 they recovered in a big way.
Well,
it is doable here.
Yeah, something that Fab 5 don't want to be doing right now is lose all your familiars. Visage got his familiar sniped out by the axe. It's going to be at a trade for a tier 1 bottom lane tower. So many illusions with the Drow Ranger getting that done. And they're actually going to lose a Tidehunter as well. No Doom needed for that one. Okay, I guess we just Magic Missile and Viper Strike. Those do some pretty serious damage. And Tidehunter, not that mobile. He's a Force Staff and that's about it. So it's a kill for a tower, and Power Rangers, they're actually going to force the hand of Fab 5 towards the mid lane, or at least try to force out a buyback of the Tide, which isn't there. So no Ravage equals pushing equals action for Power Rangers. This tower looks like it's going to fall, and it looks like it might fall for free.
Yeah, they can't really defend this one. There is too much risk of, say, the Death Ward, of the Axe setting things up, and most importantly, of the Doom right now. And that's not to count out the Viper or the Venge. There's the swap straight on to Zmai. He managed to disrupt himself. Dies Courier, they'll lose it. But now in blinks the Doom. Keck going to be forced out of this fight completely. And Tib going to take a few right clicks. But right now, where is the defense? Tib can hail down some scary levels of damage, and they're just going to be forced out of the base. That's a BKB for dooming a Razor, which the Razor's going to shrug off. It was a buyback by Zmai, who managed to disrupt himself and botch the initiation from PR. That was all round a good fight, really, for Fab 5. Buyback aside.
And well, they actually got a courier snipe while that was happening as well. I think it was the Visage main hero that sniped out the courier. Something Teal was, you know, in the dire middle lane, and they managed to take out a courier after all that. So Power Rangers, they get a kill on the Shadow Demon to force a buyback. It's a lot of gold out of the Shadow Demon's pocket, but it's not like Shadow Demon is working towards any sort of huge impact item anyway. So Power Rangers, they have an opening where the Tidehunter's down to get some damage done. They take down a tier 2, which is perfectly fine, but you'd expect a little bit more potentially with that sort of initiation onto Zmai. And oh man, Radiant's Courier also getting jacked. What is that? That is a butterfly. And was it a gem? Yeah, it was a butterfly and a gem. Or an Eagle Song and a gem. So that is, you know, I guess eye for an eye, except Fab 5 needed that eye a little bit more.
Yeah, that's quite a sore one. Courier for a courier, but bringing down Tib's Butterfly for quite a few minutes, that really hurts. It's going to harm their damage potential, but I don't think it's really that game-breaking, because right now they can look to initiate onto Sashlo and nuke him down, or more importantly, kill the Witch Doctor. But they're going to find Doom instead. Viper Strike's going to fly out onto Zmai. That's not really a target you really want to Viper Strike. Doom's going to go onto Keck, so he's going to be forced out of this fight. Has to completely leave. But now in comes that Death Ward. They need to kill off the Witch Doctor and will successfully do so. Now in comes the Ravage. J4 stunned out as well. This is very bad. Yeah, if they nuke down Cheshire Cat, this could all be over, really. They've still got the Visage up at least, which can look to bring down someone with the familiars, or at least could. Sashlo will put an end to those. But what killed the Drow? What killed the Drow in that fight?
She was just completely surrounded by enemy heroes. Like, they got the Ravage off, but Drow Ranger, as fast as she may be with the Man Style and splitting, she was just in between Cheshire Cat, she was in between the Axe, and I believe the Viper was also there, so she just couldn't get away. And the Ravage was pretty good. Fab 5 was held for a long time, as it should be. But even with that, Fab 5 end up losing the fight. So Power Rangers, they not only win that fight, they also take down a huge amount of gold with the familiar destruction as well. Shot still collecting huge off of that one. it looked pretty bad for Power Rangers since the Death Ward pretty much did nothing. He had the BKB up, he was channeling the Death Ward, got torn to shreds by familiars, but Power Rangers just fighting through that anyway, just with the sheer amount of bulk that they have.
Yeah, and, well, do you say Sashlo cashed in on killing those familiars? He certainly did. He got himself a Shiva's Guard, and now they've got the Aegis for Ditira. That's going to be quite nice for them, sure, but part of me wonders, where can they really afford to fight next? Because if they want to try to high ground Fab 5, that's not the easiest thing to do, because a drow on a high ground is very hard to stop. Sure, they can try to swap her out, but the positioning from the Drow Ranger of Tib has always been outside of really the swap scope for that Venge. Venge has been forced to, say, swap the Shadow Demon in the last 3 fights, for example. I mean, they could look to try to split push, which they could do. Speaking of split pushing, Ivs is doing exactly that. He's just being obnoxious with those familiars, which is sort of what I expect out of him. He does like to play those micro heroes.
Well, it just seems like Power Rangers, they don't really have any ways of forcing the fight at Fab 5, because Fab 5, they're not going to be, putting themselves in any compromised position until they have a Ravage. As I say that, Villic is going to put himself into a compromising situation. Tib is actually going to be charging forward, wants more, but he's going to be running into way too many heroes. Tib has got to get the hell out of there. Luckily for him, there's no Wave of Terror available for the Venge, and Fab 5, they have Power Rangers in maybe a small sandwich here, but they don't have a Ravage. They really can't do it. If Power Rangers really want to push this mid lane, it's not going to work out for them, because Ivs is still up on top lane with an Assault Cuirass. If you leave him alone, your towers are going to get destroyed, your Rax is going to go down, and there's also a Ravage available. So Power Rangers, they are pretty much playing around the Ravage all the time, and they really don't have any choice in the matter. And because of that, they can't get anything done unless they know that Ravage is out, or unless the Fab 5 team go to Power Rangers. But they're going to take down even more familiars. 3 more down for Josh, though, and Visage is, yeah, angry.
I think any Visage would be, but they're going to lose J4 in exchange for those familiars. I think J4 is worth just slightly more. Yeah, 44 gold more before you count the AoE gold. So that's going to be nice, and they might even find Sunny here, but that cask is going to bounce around and stop Villic from getting any sensible form of gush. But I will say, the presence of Ivs up on this top lane pulled away a Doom and an Axe, which gave them more than enough space to come out and pick up the kill on the Venge and get a bit of farm for themselves. So all in all, it's not too bad, but now that's not going to work. In comes the Doom onto Villic this time. It's an effective Doom. It's an effective double dunk, and the Death Ward sort of wasted.
Well, I mean, you gotta just go all in, I suppose. With Tidehunter down, I mean, they had the Doom there, so Tidehunter was going to die, or at the very least he wasn't able to cast a Ravage. Now, Power Rangers actually have a chance at making something happen down in this bottom lane. Unfortunately for them, Ditch-Ra is not here, and the damage output of these heroes, again, fantastic for killing off enemy heroes, but as far as taking down these towers, it's going to be really, really difficult unless they somehow start a fight within the enemy side of the base, but that's not going to happen, especially when Chacho gets silenced to start things out. Has to force Taff his way out. They're going to push the mid lane down a little bit, but they don't really have that much time. These familiars are just being so annoying for Power Rangers, cutting the creep waves, but maybe Power Rangers get this tier 3 tower down to half HP, but I don't really see that anything else happening. They don't have their ultimates. 30 seconds till Death Ward. They're not going to win a fight without Death Ward and without Doom.
Yeah, if they take this fight and the tide comes up and manages to get a good Ravage, this could all go horribly wrong. And there's the fortification there just to ensure that the tower doesn't take too much. Now they've got the entire lineup of Fab 5 available. All ultimates are available. I don't think we have any Visage familiars on the map, though. No, those are still pretty dead. Or are they? No, they're on top lane and they're almost getting killed by Sashlo again. Good God. Sashlo hunts familiars. He does not care for your heroes. He wants your familiars.
Hey, familiars probably do a lot more damage than some of the Fab 5 heroes, at least burst damage with Drow Ranger or active, so it's worthwhile to take them down. And they have a 2-minute respawn timer as opposed to a hero which just has, what, a minute at this point, something like that. So it's certainly worth it for Shasho to be looking for those familiars and, tunnel visioning onto those familiars. As long as it doesn't hurt his ability to initiate onto the enemy heroes, they need this axe to start things off, and maybe they're going to start things off by snagging Tib. That's, of course, the ideal scenario for Power Rangers. They are only working with Shacho revealed. Blink 4 onto the high ground. Villic is going to interrupt them with the Ravage, though. Death Ward is going to be channeled after the Ravage. Going to bounce through absolutely everyone, annihilating the Shadow Demon. Now it's going to bounce through, going Hunt to Kex through to Tib. That's going to be 1 kill. It's going to be 2 as Keck's also going to lose his head. Ivs is going to try to chase forward for Sneeko, but it's not going to work out. It's going to be Villic to take most of the damage. He will be going down as well. Buyback from the Gyro Ranger, but by this time it's too late. All our allies are already dead. Ivs is going to get decapitated now. Here comes Tib. Might get a kill on Shotshell, but Ditchy putting some serious damage onto the Gyro Ranger as well. Going to get right into her face. Here comes Shotshell to pull the attention off of Ditchy. Will get the kill with the dunk. Aegis is going to get procced. Maybe he dies to Familiars right now, but even if he does, Power Rangers have enough to at the very least take this tier 3 tower, because Fab 5, the only buyback they have is the Visage, and he can't do anything against these heroes. Cheshire Cat J4 is so beaten up right now. No, Cheshire Cat, please don't die to the tower. That will be embarrassing. Ditchy should be tanking the tower right about now, but they can take down this tower. They can take down the Raxes if Cheshire Cat doesn't die to NPCs.
Close there by Cheshire, but no, this should be easy Rax here. No one are going to be alive for a good 7 seconds yet, and the Drow down for even longer, 54 seconds. That's quite unpleasant. This is going to be at least 2 sets of Rax, if not game, in my mind. There's just so little they can do. Then again, if anyone could say sneeze and kill Cheshire Cat or J4, that could help.
Yeah, it certainly would, but I don't think it's going to happen because Maya's going to get jumped on. He's going to get level death decapitated as well. Villic doesn't even have to Ravage for another minute. If he had that, then I'm sure Fab 5 can make some sort of defense. Here comes a TP in. It's going to be the Visage right into the front line. Shasha, though, still with the Culling Blade movement speed, buzzing around every which way. Is going to catch Keck with that call, getting enough space for Ditchy to disengage. Also, Shasha might be able to disengage off of this. Going to Culling Blade a random creep just to get himself some more MS, and he's going to make it free and clear until Villic starts to give chase. Axe dropping very low, but Ditchy with the heart regen, plus that BKB. He's going to go straight for Keck, who's doomed up. Can't do anything this Razor, and he will be going down shortly. Here comes Shasha, reinitiating the fight onto Villic, landing the call once again. Dunk will fail, but at such a low cooldown, he doesn't really care. It's a double kill for Ditchy. Drow Ranger now back up. The Raxes in the bottom lane are going to be held. Power Rangers, maybe now is about the time where they want to back off, but they take down a tier 3, making it so that it's easier for them to take the Raxes later. They take down a whole bunch of kills, so they win straight up as far as the kills and deaths are concerned, and they take the mid set of Raxes. That was a huge team fight for Power Rangers.
That was. I completely did not expect that kind of force out of PR, considering how cautious they've been to avoid another game 2 scenario. But Tibbs now back up. He didn't buy back, so he's going to have that available hopefully for the next fight if he can farm it up. He's got a Butterfly. I don't see any MKBs on the enemy lineup, but the most lethal thing that they still need to address is that Death Ward. Considering Sonico has that BKB, it's just such a huge damage ability right now.
And Fab 5,
how do you stop it?
It's even working with an Assault Cuirass. They don't really have any great ways of stopping it. Once the BKB comes up, you have to make sure that the Familiars are right on top of the Witch Doctor. That's the only way they can really stop it, just by straight up killing Sonico. But if he has BKB and now Shadow Blade, you can't stop it.
Yeah, this is so incredibly painful here. Sonico can make and break this game right now. It's all up to Fab 5 to kill the Witch Doctor. The Viper isn't the threat, the Axe isn't the threat, the Witch Doctor is the threat. He's the one that will level your team quicker than anyone else on the side of PR. And now here we go, we're looking for that tier 3 fight and defense. Can Fab 5 hold? In comes the potential Ravage, but all those BKBs, it just did not pay off for Felix. He got doomed as well. The Death Ward just going to town onto Keck. Everyone is starting to crumble. This is not the fight that Fab 5 wanted.
Ravage was Fab 5's best chance at actually taking a fight there, and you can only actually take a fight when you have a Ravage that lands on someone, but it was absorbed by 3 BKBs. Shasha also looking to hunt more Familiars, will claim 1, 2, 3 for himself, or 2 for himself, 1 for the Vengeful, I believe, but that second set of Rax is going down. Unfortunately for Power Rangers, they still have top lane to work through, so they can't take Megas right now. I don't think they care, since Doom is going to buy back, travel in. Doesn't even have a Doom, doesn't even need it right now, because they're going to Force Staff Ivs into, or farther away from his fountain, rather. He's going to instantly buy back, but right now it's just Power Rangers farming the Fab 5 heroes. Shasha's going to get himself into the fountain, yet he still will survive. No, he won't. Demonic Purge will kill him off. But only 2 heroes down, and Power Rangers, they are not going to throw this one away, I think. It's never too late to 322, guys, but it seems like they might have just done it.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be thrown here. Then again, they did just lose the Doom. If they can maybe save their Ancient, then again, you've got J4 just going to town still, and Sonny is here. That's going to be gain. Fab 5 unfortunately cannot hold game 3, but what a hell of a series we have had.
Man, I think once again, I am pleasantly surprised by the ability of Fab 5 to play out their game, falling short occasionally, but I don't think anyone would have really favored them to win against the Power Rangers. So 2-1 for Power Rangers, Fab 5 taking game number 2 off of the most 322 game you'll ever see from PR, but that's going to close out. Power Rangers, they still have a chance now to be in Division 1, whereas Fab 5, they're guaranteed Div 2. Unfortunately for them, but someone's got to take that role. If you enjoyed the cast, guys, and we sincerely hope you did, be sure to follow the stream. Hit that follow button, go to Twitter, facebook.com/HeflaTV. Follow us there as well. The VODs will be up on YouTube. Links on the top right of your screen. I'm Mike Loris. You can follow me at Twitter, at Mike Loris on Twitter. He's Blackadder. You can find him at Mr_Blackadder on Twitter. Anything else to say, man, before we close this out?
I'm hoping to see more from these teams, really. That's pretty much it. Other than that, I'm probably going to stream a few games on my channel if anyone's interested in shenanigans, I think is the word for it.
All right, so yeah, just put that in the chat. I'm sure you'll get some people to follow overwords, but that's it for us today, guys. We'll see you sometime else. JDL's kind of slow right now, so not really sure what's going to be, but it will be in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.